hello all. Chent and I know each other. We sort of socialised in the same circles.
Yes.
We had a discussion at Mel Yu's birthday briefly.
We did.
I haven't told Mel that you're on today, so she might get a little interesting from this.
I told her yesterday.
Yeah. Let's explain it there. And so what I would like, first question to ask you, sir, is what is Presence?
Presence has evolved so much in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it began as just 5 guys coming together to explore cool shit. Disruptive tech that can challenge the status quo, that can shift society, that can challenge the system, that can create a world that we believe is better for humanity. So we sort of came together with that mission.
Okay.
And we've rode every sort of like tech trend and wave,
right,
and tested different startups. So it's pivoted along the way, but with every sort of how would I say, season of Presence, because like our team came together in 2020 November.
Yep. Okay.
And we started just innovating, throwing things at a wall, see what sticks, put it out into the market, see if we can validate it, see what sticks, etc. So a lot of investment into R&D, but like what it is now is an online learning place for online marketplace for self-development.
Okay.
And we're integrating cryptocurrency, which has always been the game plan, where we can incentivize people to self-develop.
I think that's fascinating, especially around the crypto space. I believe that crypto is going to have a huge, more everyday use. At the moment, it's still a little bit novelty. I'm fully expecting my backers that back my company to start taking crypto payments, but it's the inevitable future. So you originally started in fitness.
Yes.
How have you gone from your odyssey in fitness to who you are today? Where's this gone? Because your background fascinates me. Like fitness is something I've always been interested in, health, mental, that, but like you seem to take it to the next level. What have you learned from that? What lessons are you bringing in today that you bring from your fitness days?
I feel like what brought me into fitness answers that question. So growing up, parents immigrated from Malaysia.
Yep.
I was born in New Zealand. I've got one older brother, simple family. We had everything we needed, but nothing extra.
Yep.
Dad worked multiple jobs. Mum worked multiple jobs as soon as she could.
Yep.
The first sort of spanner in the works, when I was 10 years old, Mum got diagnosed with cancer.
Sorry to hear.
And after 4 years, she passed when I was 14. And that was like almost the beginning of my story in a strange way. You know, you get 2 weeks off from school to grieve, and then you're back to reality. Like you're back to school. No counseling, no nothing. So then I had a lot of emotion, anger, confusion, just stopped applying myself. That, I'll do the fast track and we can dive in.
Dive in, man. Dive in.
And then that eventually just, you know, what you put out there into the universe is exactly what you get. So I attracted more people with anger and broken families. So
that law of attraction works in weird and wonderful ways. I've spoken about it so many times.
So precisely.
People don't believe me when I say, but I you know, the law of attraction, you attract a certain type of people around.
Yes.
And it's only with like, you know, you connect the dots looking backwards where you learn those lessons about maybe hanging around those people might not have been such a great idea. It works for now.
Yes.
But as you develop, you know, you kind of have to shed these people.
Definitely.
So, you know, when your mother got diagnosed with cancer, obviously that still plays very heavily today in your philosophy in life.
No doubt.
How do you think your mindset has evolved to be the leader that you are today?
I feel with the events that have happened in life, starting from Mum, and that was just one, you know, the world that I started to get pulled into and the extremes of that world, it's almost like I had to learn how to adapt extremely fast. Yep. I didn't have a choice, because it's either the thought of taking your own life or adapting to what is continually. And then after a while, you just end up being this person, almost like where ego came in clutch or pride came in clutch, where I can't actually take my own life if I tried. And I've thought about it many times over the years.
I completely resonate with that. And I guess it's becoming comfortable with becoming at peace with what's happened.
That's it. Because it's happened.
it's happened, and the event itself, as tragic as it is, and is you people either use that as a starting point, a start off point to embetter their life, or they use it to basically crash their life.
And sometimes the crash is the guidance to the betterment. I sort of had a 10-year crash to realize the crash made me into who I was becoming.
Do you think that has played a pivotal role in your coaching business? Because of what's happened, you can then instill that into others.
Extremely. I feel like you can't guide anybody to a place you haven't been, and you can't teach people what you're not.
I'm being diplomatic today.
Please. I love diplomatic.
I truly believe that people think that they love the victim mentality. They don't actually want to fix anything. They don't actually want to improve any. They want to spend money with you. But they're using your coaching services or anyone's coaching as a tick and flick sort of exercise, like doing reps at the gym.
100%.
I did the work today.
I like what you touched on, because my style is very unconventional. That's why I don't have like a core staple program, and I'm not doing the like the road show with the workshops and everyone like run to the back of the room and sign up, because you're right. There's almost like this paradox that no one actually wants to face their shit and grow.
No.
And they just want to keep signing up to something to feeling like they're growing. And that's almost that. I'm the anti of that.
It's like the rush is better. So they want to make sure that, you know, they've done it, and then, you know, they can charge the socials up, and they can tell all their friends that they've done this and they've been enlightened, and they do the dinner parties and they're this, but like that's all surface shit. And then at home, they're exactly the same person.
100%.
I find that the more time you spend on this rock, you either learn from the past, or the past just keeps repeating in different forms or different relationships. How you evolve as a person. But when you see people crash, right, is it the same sort of thing? Relationship breakdown, something, you're seeing a pattern of behavior with the business. I assume most of your clients are high level managers, directors, that level of stuff. What are you seeing in common patterns of behavior that you see time and time again that you need to correct?
I find majority of my guys are usually across all skill levels, but one commonality is there's some form of a startup or a scale up in mind. As in, there might be a high level director with years of experience, but they want to implement something new. And the new is always on the other side of almost a lack of fulfillment.
Yep.
You know, so the correction, if that's a really good question. What sort of comes through to me is everyone's trying to get to something, and they think that something is going to answer this itch they have.
Yep.
But when you scratch that itch, another itch appears. And that's something that I've had to learn in my life. I was like, all right, cool. Let me get over my mum and get a secure career. So before fitness, I went into civil engineering, and I was a civil engineer.
Okay. How long for?
2007 till 2014.
Okay, I'm going to link back to that in a second. Okay, yep.
So very systemized mind sort of comes to that. Professionalism comes from that world. So I thought that was the key. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm miserable in this. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Let me get into what do I love? I love gaming and I love fitness. It's going to be hard to be a professional gamer, so I'll just become a PT.
Yep, okay.
Went into the fitness industry. That didn't scratch the itch. Cool, I need money. So let's
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, you need to start a company. You need to become a millionaire. Done the startup.
It's a good start.
You know, started to scratch that first $1 million valuation, etc. Cool, I need 10 million. I need 100 million. And then I started to like be more curious. What the fuck is that voice? What's that voice? And that's where I started to lean deeper into mindset, spirituality. And even that itself, once I find the voice out, the voice will stop. But you realize it's almost like this constant inner dialogue. And that is in everyone. And when you can almost build a healthy relationship with that inner dialogue, which they say is your mind or your identity, it naturally will desire things. Like humans are going to have our natural desires, but the desires don't dominate you.
When your clients come to you with these guidance issues, they want to take their, high entrepreneurs, they want to 10x their company. Sure. I feel Grant Cardone, patent that 10x because now everyone wants to 10x their company. Yeah. Where do you like to start with your clients? Is it inner work? Is it more structure? You come from an engineering background, so is it more discipline around structures within the business? Where do you like to start with your clients?
Usually before I even kick off, I like to really ask a lot of questions to extract who they are, what the business is externally, and who's the driver behind it internally.
Yep.
So once I sort of have that map structurally, and I can show them the map too, going, cool, this is what you have, this is where you're trying to get, but this is who's driving it, this is who you have to become to drive it. Does that make sense? Yeah, cool, it makes sense. Now I have to start with the driver. So I always come back to foundations after we have that map. And the first legit month would be coming back to you. And it's not just like, all right, you're going to do a cold shower every day. It's just facing the shit, like putting you in the deep end and seeing who you really are. Like when we squeeze you, what comes out? That's where I always start.
See, what you're saying is they need to find peace within the chaos.
Amen.
Once they find peace, doesn't matter what's going on around them. As long as they're centered in peace, they can then make clear judgment. I'm only speaking from experience with that because I have made judgment calls when I have been in chaos with not at peace, and Jesus, has it cost me money or time or, I'm 45 now, so I look at my years in limited bandwidth, right? Okay, I've got this much bandwidth. Next year I'm going to have a little bit less and then a little bit less and a little bit less. And I value bandwidth more over anything else. If something doesn't bring peace to my life now, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in fixing people anymore. I'm not interested in dating the wrong people anymore. I'm more about, if it brings me peace, I'm good. If it doesn't bring me peace, thank you, but let's just move on with life. And I guess I've had that, epiphany time and time again. What do you think more people should do more of within a business sense? Like you're coaching people. What do you think? What do you think they should be doing more of, but they're doing less of that and more of something else?
Explore. Like I believe every company, whether it's a startup, scale up, whatever, needs some form of a fucking innovation department. Have fun, explore, create, have meetings where you throw shit on a wall. How the fuck do we integrate AI into what we're doing? How does that amplify things? What about crypto? What about these things? Because sometimes we just get so caught up in keeping the business running or alive.
Yeah.
What's the fucking point? Are you just surviving to die? I think we forget like how long we have to live and how unguaranteed that is.
Yeah, you don't know how much sand is in your hourglass. You don't know how much time you have on this rock.
That's it.
How do you go about instilling that into people? Because it's one thing saying it.
Yes.
And then they nod and they go, yep, we've got to do this. But then it's like the actions don't add up to what they're
Definitely.
saying.
There's a saying, and that's why like money is an interesting thing. Like a lot of me rewiring money and the tool and the role of it, this whole mindset that investment equals commitment. Because here's the thing, you can get anything for free online at this age.
100%.
Yeah. But so information is free and in abundance, but execution and implementation is where the cost comes in. And I noticed this early in my personal training days where on one end of the spectrum, client sees me one time a week, $100. Client sees me 4 times a week, $400. The $400 client does all the meal plans, dry July's, not drinking everything. The $100 client is a mum having wines on the weekend, seeing me the next day, no results, extreme results. So I started to notice, okay, where you put your money, you actually fucking take it serious.
When your clients come to you for a coaching pack, because from my understanding is most of your coaching work comes from referrals.
Yes.
I've never seen you advertise. I've actually never seen you pitch anyone. And
I'll do the occasional scouting. Yeah. I scout a bit, but usually it comes through either inbound referrals or just random outbound. I'll throw a shot out there.
Why did you get into the coaching business?
Good question. It links into, I got into personal training because I wanted to do what I love. And my theory was if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. Cool, bet. So I went into personal training and it was true. Like fitness changed my life. It replaced a life of drugs, alcohol, violence, etc.
Yep.
And I started to notice not only am I bettering my body, I'm feeling more positive and I'm reading now and I have goals now, aspirations. So I noticed that when I was implementing, getting people in shape, their lives were changing in the same way. And then I also started to notice patterns where after about my 4th year of PT, I have clients 4 years straight with me, directors, a lot of professional individuals, and they're telling me marriage has changed. They've got a salary upgrade. So I started to notice that I'm not just leveling up their body, I'm leveling up their lives. And then I felt very boxed because they would say, yeah, all of these amazing things are happening, Chent. So I want to lose 5 kgs. And I'm like, fuck, I need to get the fuck out of a gym and free myself and expand what I really do for people.
I've always struggled with my weight, and I'll lose it quickly, gain it back on, and it's always directly linked to my stress levels.
Of course.
Up and down, right? And stressful last year, put a lot of weight on. This year, changed the mindset, and it's coming back down again. When you've had obstacles in your own life, okay, as have I had mine, and you're dealing with this. When you're instilling that into your clients, how vulnerable, do you find it being a bit more vulnerable with your client base a good thing or a bad thing? Like when you talk about your own obstacles, you know, the people that you're hanging out with, the violence, the all that stuff. Like what I'm trying to ask is do you think being vulnerable to your clients is a good thing, or is it a case that they don't listen and they want to have their thing and you find them, you're being a counselor instead of a coach?
True. I think you need to know the best of both worlds. And I feel coming from, you know, some time in corporate and understanding that world and always having a level of corporate clients, I know how to almost break through and meet them on a personal level, but then draw clear boundaries where it's like, cool, that's personal. That's why we can trust each other. I've gone through shit. You've gone through shit. I hear your shit. I feel you. But all that being said, we got to action A, B, and C now. So I have a very good ability, I guess, of, you know, meeting them personally, but then drawing clear boundaries on what needs to happen for shit to actually move.
I love that. How do you, when you're looking for new clients, and because obviously you're not able to help everyone.
Yes.
You're not the Salvation Army. I love the work the Salvation Army does. Do you feel that you need to find a client with a certain issue or a certain problem that you synergize with to help? How do you find your clients? Because obviously you'd love to take all these clients on and think, but it's just I would find it quite draining.
Of course.
Yeah.
I find a lot of my work is heavily intuitive, as in I've sort of, and again, it's probably built from a lot of things, probably built from life experience. A lot of it is from the street where your survival is on the line and you have to rely on intuition to gauge the room, to gauge people, to gauge things. So I've become really good at gauging people beyond what they say or present, etc.
Cool.
So I can gauge, here's the thing, how many humans have a dream? Everybody. How many people are actually actioning their dream? Not everybody. And there's stages of actioning. Like some people have fully actioned out their dream and their vision into some form of a business and they're thriving. But even in those guys, you can see this little chink in their armor when you look in their eyes of like, are you really happy? What's that thing that's missing? I can sense something. And I'm really good at identifying that even through social media accounts. As in, okay, you're speaking it, but your example doesn't match it. So when I find, it's almost like I scout rough diamonds.
They front.
100%.
They love fronting.
And there's a lot of, everybody's a fronter to an extent, right? Yeah. But I find like this is little
I try not to anymore.
Me too.
I try. My 30s is a different story, but yeah, these days I try not to front.
That's it. And I'm starting to see through my own front. It's continual, right? We see through our own.
You have a massive aura, man. Like like you control the room. I love that.
Yeah, and I'm seeing through a lot of my own things too, especially at 35. And my partner Victoria has been a massive mirror for me as of late. She's one of those energies where you can't get past your own bullshit. Like it's just a pure mirror. And I try to be that for other people too. So it's almost like, I've evolved a lot, I would say, even in the last year.
You two are definitely a power couple. You know, that harmonious relationship that you can bounce back off. Do you believe that a business owner, a senior manager, an entrepreneur has to have a certain mindset to be successful? And if so, what is that mindset?
1000%. And I would say this is the mindset required to be successful isn't always a healthy mindset. So it's your definition of success. Like you cannot give a fuck about energy and being good or anything. You can just make sense of the market, just do what has to be done to make sales, borderline manipulation in the art of sales persuasion, and you can be successful financially.
Funny you should bring up manipulation in the sales process. So I trained with Jordan Belford, Wolf of Wall Street in 2011, before the movie came out.
Gotcha.
Did his 3-day course in Sydney, spent it, I think it was me and 500 people in the room, right? Learn a lot about ethics, ethical ethics. And, you know, Jordan doesn't shy away from his past. He owns it. He served his time. Anyone who says anything bad moving forward, that's your problem. I mean, he's whatever. I believe ethics, even in business ownership, has to be there, and I see it lacking even to this day. And it's always boils down to this same fucking model: front hard, hire car lease purchase, interesting goal, interesting partner or life choice partner, and it's all about the show. And I would find that type of client very hard to coach. And I'm not trying to single out anyone or anything. I think what you're all about service and giving.
Yes.
And focusing on your art, and you make money on the side.
Right.
As a natural thing. If I focus on my craft and my art and the way I am, then everything else comes together. Why do you think, even after coaching some of your clients, and I don't even know this, some of them still fail?
100%.
Why?
Two things, right?
Yeah.
I'll start with this quote. Sell them what they want, give them what they need.
Yep.
I used to try to sell them what they need, give them what they need, and you can't penetrate. Yeah, so sometimes you have to give a little bit of a front without losing yourself in the front. As much as I don't like that, I understand that's a game to the element. So it's like a fine line in between. So as much as I don't like to, like I'm a very move in silence, ghost mode kind of guy.
That's fine.
But I know that I have to sort of sell some form of an image, some form of what they think they want. And then they're like, teach me, Chent. Cool. So this is what you got to do now. Throw them in the deep end, swim. That's always been my approach, one. And secondly, why do some people still fail? And that used to get me a lot. And I remember an old mentor used to drill into me. Our job is not to guarantee their success. Our job is to give them the tools to succeed and point them in the direction to implement. And I was like, shit, it's not actually up to me then. Like I give them all the tools. They paid for the tools. I give you it.
Yep.
And fuck, let's see if you got it. And I'm going to be in your corner to execute it. But if you just don't choose not to execute it, so be it.
I'm just thinking my own odyssey in life.
And I will add this as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you give them the tools, they fail, quote unquote, off, but then 4 or 5 years later, they almost ripen to execute. And I've seen that in my own journey. I've had mentors that have instilled things into me. I didn't get the ROI or the quick return I was looking on, the expectation. And then 5, 6 years later, fuck, I got it.
So you moved to Australia a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
What the person that sits in front of me today, how different is that to the person that arrived a year and a half ago?
Extremely different.
In what way?
I would say more mature, yep. More grounded, more long-sighted, more stable, mentally, emotionally, energetically. Less in a rush. I've always been in a rush, but the rush is also something that you can't lose, because I've even quieted down this rush to get somewhere so much that I wasn't even fucking inspired anymore about like 6 months ago. And I felt like I lost all my superpowers.
I think we all go through that.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that your coaching business has changed with you? As in, like, you're seeing all these people, you're guiding, you're giving them the tools, you're giving them the roadmap. Whether they stay on it is up to them.
Yes.
But what's changed with you since your coaching business?
Changed with me since my coaching business, or in the last year?
Just in as long as you want.
Okay, and a strange thing I'm noticing, 99% of my client base are females now, where I've always tried to market to younger me. And I notice the moment I've become more grounded, my offerings are more grounded, longer term, relationship building rather than gunning for some quick ROI, see you later. And I noticed that almost filters out a lot of men or strong young men more so. And I'm getting a lot more like 30-year-old middle-aged females that are tired of that. They're wanting some sort of masculine confidence.
I was about to say masculine energy, yeah.
Yeah, but not learning masculinity from a feminine.
Looking back, I mean, the start of your 30s is a very interesting time. Like, you know, you move through that, you know, I don't have anything to lose phase in my 20s. It doesn't matter, I'm in my 20s, right? You move into your 30s and you start questioning relationships, you start questioning careers, you start questioning, have I achieved what I want to achieve in my life? Obviously. And I understand why a lot of your client base is female, but also males don't develop like females. And my guess is in probably the next few years, you'll start to get those late 30 males coming to you going, my wife left me, I left my wife, I left my career, I want to start a business. A lot of people come to me and say, I want to start a business. And my actual reply to them is just start. But how? Register the ABN, put up a website, start. Like, I don't know what I want to sell. I'm not the oracle. Like, I started TRS off the back end of a business failing when I moved to Melbourne with $5,000 in my name 10 years ago. And like, I had no idea. Like, just start. Why do you think so many people fail to start? Or they'll come to you for a coaching session and suddenly something inside it and you just never hear from them again?
Yeah, it's the mind, man. It's the mind. It's validation. It's fear of judgment. It's fear of failure. It's ultimately what other people think. If every human was the only human on planet Earth, you'd do whatever the fuck you want to do. To be honest, it's the societal culture and social media just amplifies it, and it's gonna be interesting where the future takes us and how that's gonna influence this, because you almost don't have to start now when your AI can start for you, or AI could start for you. So I'm very curious. You know, it's ultimately coming back to it. It's the mind, and therefore I always put a lot of focus on teaching clients the foundation of how to see the mind, where the mind doesn't dominate them.
How do you instill that into a coaching program though? We talk about mind.
Yep.
We talk about this. How do we actually get that into a package where someone can act? Because you're starting to, in my eyes, talk about things that people may not be ready to fucking talk about.
True.
And understand that these patterns of behavior that they've learned, or past relationships, or something that's happened fucking 10 years ago is direct reflecting them today in how they move forward.
Honestly, this came from me studying the luxury market. I wanted to know, how the fuck do you charge $500 for a hat when you can get a fully functional hat for $10? Correct. How do you charge $60,000 for a watch when a functional watch is $150?
Yep.
It's all an experience. Like, okay. Yes, Rolex buying a status, etc. But like at the end of the day, it's experience. If you go into Louis Vuitton and you buy something, it's an experience. Whereas if you go into Big W and you buy something, the experience doesn't match the Louis Vuitton experience. So coming back to the question, I find if you can leave people with experiences, you shift them. So I can show you the mind in a moment and leave you with an experience where forever it's in your system going, fuck, what was that? And if you can give people that experience of observing the mind live over and over and over and over again, they build up this muscle of awareness, which is what I call awareness, where now you almost can't switch it off. Like, I can't unsee the mind at any given time. Like, I can see the dialogue right now. Is this making sense? Yeah, cool. This sounds like a good thing. Keep going with it, etc. Should I do a live example? Should I not? We'll wait till he asks me. I can see that while I'm also talking. It's like a secondary conversation is always on here.
Where have you developed that from? Is that from your engineering days? Is this discipline and structure? Is it
pain?
Pain. Let's talk about, are you comfortable to talk about pain?
Oh, 1000%.
Let's talk pain.
Okay, in moments when you are at your end and fuck, I'm gonna do it, how do I kill myself? Oh, like, even that is a voice. And you'll find that in those moments, you could say it's just you and your mind, or you and God, or you and the universe, whatever. Like in those moments, you really start to notice the extremes of the mind. And if you lean into that curiosity of what is that, what was that thing, what is that loud voice, whether it's deep depression, etc., you're going to lean into some form of meditation.
Was this the lowest point of your life that you're discussing now?
I have multiple. Like death of the mum is one.
Yep.
Fuck, I could keep listing.
What ones do you think, and you're comfortable to talk about, have sort of given you the most, the most, like, you've learned the most from, and you've gone, fuck, that was a low point, but I realized that for me, one of my lowest points is when I lost my first recruitment company, and I trusted a lot of other people. I went, why did I do that? I shouldn't have, and it cost me so much. What lowest point? Because obviously people that are watching this, you know, they like to get lessons, they like to understand and, you know, learn more about yourself and your business as well. Is which points do you feel that you've got the most valuable life insight out of?
I'll say a generic thing and then I'll list some. Like every next one or every recent one gives me my next thing. But just the list, like chronologically, mum passing 1, then first girlfriend. So mum passing 14, 1. First girlfriend saying she doesn't love me after 3 years, 21.
Ouch.
One of my friends that I just used to drink and get into shit with, him getting sentenced to 4 or 5 years, and me thinking, shit, this is real. That's another one. Couple of my friends, this Chasing Limits is a brand of one of my mentoring clients that used to share his visions with me, how he wants to retire his mum, etc. Passed from leukemia at 29. This is a friend from the neighborhood, 6'5", talented kickboxer. Took his own life, just the pressure was too much. So many of these.
I hear so many people in the fighting circles with that.
Yeah.
It's like...
And like right to recent even, like coming back to the point, even is like, even just maybe a recent argument with Vic, and then like expectations of how I thought like the relationship has to be breaking, like just me breaking. Every break opens up like some form of a crack for me to observe something and let go of something and find deeper peace. And it's not like surface of like, all right, cool, I'm gonna end the relationship or keep going the relationship. Things just keep happening. Like a relationship is beautiful, but there's something in me that dies every time. It's almost like a heavy expectation has fallen short. There's been many in business too. My first tech startup, ARX, smart glass business, fitness, gamifying fitness, smart glasses. My whole vision with that was the Tom Bilyeu story, Quest Nutrition, where I was going to exit it, refresh my account and see unlimited zeros. And then as I started to move in that trajectory, me and my business partner wanted different things, and then it quickly went to pretty much nothing.
In the 3 businesses I've been involved in, it was my first business, I had a partner, it was my best friend, and it didn't quite work out. You know, I think the Tom Bilyeu Quest story is a great story.
Yeah.
But, and no disrespect to Quest or Tom or anything like that, it's not, his story is a unicorn story.
And then we all chase the unicorn.
We all chase the unicorn. Now he talks about, you know, cleaning out the Quest machines, the food process, you know, and getting involved. And that, even the whole, how they, you know, they wanted to do something and they didn't know what, and then they just formed this thing. And that's such a beautiful story, but it's not realistic. I don't believe the Quest story is realistic, as in you should chase your dreams. Yeah, work fucking hard, you know, hustle. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying don't always automatically expect $1 billion valuation, because we all 3 people in this room work our fucking asses off, and just by default we should all be worth $1 billion each. Like that path that chasing the unicorn, man, chews up so many people. Yeah.
Right? It's just like, even, you know, going down raising capital and realizing that, okay, all these VC firms, fuck, they invest in you. And when you feel like you've got the investment, you're like, wow, I'm going to be the next unicorn. But man, like you're a statistic for them. Like they expect like 90% of their portfolio to fail, but that 10% or the 1% to pay for all of it.
Correct. And that's the you know, the Facebook story, the Quest story, even the Amazon story. But the Amazon story was a long fucking grind. That was a big grind. Yeah. And that was a whole. I look at Facebook and Amazon as creating a movement. And I think they should be, again, those stories should be taken out of Entrepreneur Odyssey, because they had started an entire fucking movement. It's like they were and you know, we could even talk, we'll get into AI search and stuff, but like they were almost like to me, they were the horse and cart to the car, the fax machine to the email, currency to crypto. Like they were that of that generation. And I think people want those stories and they want their own Odyssey. But again, it's also feeding the ego, when at the end of the day, we're human and we all fuck up and we all make mistakes and we all want the best for everything to happen. But I would find you would also have to let down a lot of your coaching clients to go, well, it's okay to be you, and it's okay to just want this and not, you see it in your circles. People front, I've got this and that, boom, boom, and I'm like, and what the fuck has that got to do with the conversation we're having right now? And I find those people have very few friends, if not any friends. And that's one of the biggest red flags I look at when I'm, looking to do, spend my time with people, friends, all that. How many other friends have you got? And if you don't have a friend, and you know what? There's always a fucking issue why they don't.
Yeah, they just have to become somebody. And it becomes a trade-off. Like I was so obsessed with the status billionaire or the label billionaire, and it's like I don't even want that anymore, to be honest, because I've seen what the cost is, and in this stage of life, at least, I can't. Maybe 45 asked me a different question in 10 years, but I'm not. It's not worth it to me. It's not my definition of wealthy. And even like our goal is the movement with presidents to exit it at multi 10 figures. That's the vision. 10 years time, etc., wherever this leads us. But even just getting in it, we got one advisor, Cal from Melbourne. He was part of Kareem, which exited to Uber for 3.2 billion. And even just his presence in the company advising us, right? And me seeing like the kind of documentation you need to not just have, but implement into regular everyday systems. It costs so much. It will cost me my relationship, it will cost me my health, it will cost me a lot of things.
There is a cost to everything. For every reaction, there is an equal reaction, right? And I've lost relationships, cost me relationships. A bit like you said, we've all been there. We've all been really focused on building that next unicorn, that next business, that next thing for some sort of ego. And I know a lot of people in the car community, great people, but a lot of their cars are just in warehouses and they don't get driven. I find that sad. Not experiencing that because they're worried about the value where they should. I think as a society, we should be more focused on experience outcome events. And it's okay to have a business coach and not have all the answers, and then just have that business to your side. I mean, James and I have spoken about this before. Build a business to the number that you're comfortable with, not what society pressures you on a fucking Saturday networking event or, what's your thought on this?
1000%. I think coming back to mum passing and probably like the 2 weeks and 6 months. Yeah.
Jesus.
You're going to sleep every night going like, all right, what the fuck was that? What's the purpose of everything? Okay. So good people die. So that means, okay, good people can die. So eventually the meetings with myself in bed came down to what's the point of life? And then the theory I came up with at 14 that is still the theory is to experience experiences. You don't leave with anything else. Anything you build in here. So I've always had that element, which sometimes has me on the bit of the crazier end where I could have made smarter investments and decisions, but I have a fuckload of good experiences. So I agree coming back to that number, like as much as 10 figures sounds amazing, 8 figures is a pretty sweet life, If I ever crossed into 9, you would never know, because anything after 9, I'm going to do silently rather than wear it as like a big fucking...
Oh, fuck yeah. I know a lot of people. Actually, not a lot. I probably know 5 people that have that level.
Yeah.
you wouldn't fucking know.
Exactly.
You have no fucking idea. They might wear a nice clothes, but you have no idea by the watch. You have no fucking idea because you know what? People that strive to be on the BWR rich list, right? There are people that spend money to not be on it. Like hard.
Yes.
Hard.
Yes.
Like
that's the goal.
That's the goal. When you're working with your clients, right, and you having certain, when you're coaching your clients, do you ever have to handle fear or self-doubt in yourself because they're triggering a past event and you're trying to be vulnerable to them, but at the same time, you're obviously trying to control your own feelings?
I feel like you can get into a flow state. It's almost like you see it in every great athlete where they're not present and something plays through them. And it's something that can be almost mastered with countless repetitions. So I feel like I can activate that. It's almost like me right now. I'm not thinking about any question being thrown off. Was the angle all right? Whatever. It's just I've become great at just letting something speak through me. And therefore I can rely on that thing, whether you label that thing as God or universe or higher self or whatever. So I've become very good at not even allowing that to interfere when I'm coaching a client. But also that being said, that's outside of the call where I'm like, okay, cool. This client is about to do this thing. You're going to have your natural doubts as well. What if they can't? What if I can't take them there, etc. And that's why you always have to be a student of your own teachings and stay a student of life. So you're continually using that as a mirror for yourself, because you never get to a point where all fear stops and you're some god. We're all humans, you know.
What helps you to keep going? As in daily, what helps you to what helps you keep going in what you're doing?
I feel like it's gonna sound weird, but fuck it. That's
fuck
who I am.
Man. I've been very good behavior today. I've only sworn once. Fuck it. Let's start swearing some more.
I would just say being a fucking human, like my human tendencies. I wake up and then I feel like I'm not enough. I can see that. Cool. All right, cool. So what do I think I need to do to be enough? All right, cool. So I guess that's the goal. Or I'm seeking some validation. Or I need my ego stroked. So yeah, you can. The game is not like fully denouncing that, because that's part of your human, but also not getting drunk off your own Kool-Aid and letting that dominate you.
Don't get high in your own supply. Don't break the Scarface rule of business.
That's it.
Don't get high in your own supply. I love that line. I bring it up all the time. When your clients are feeling heavy because I feel your clients are very vulnerable to you and see, how do you bring them back to a sense of, levelness? Like they bring them back to zero so they can you can coach them and guide them.
Yeah, it's an intuitive thing again. I think this is where the gym and the art form of even bodybuilding comes into big for me. Is like there's very structured things in bodybuilding, numbers, time under tension, 8 to 12 reps. But in that 8 to 12 reps, you can feel if you need number 13. You can feel if 7 was good enough. There's a feeling you develop with each repetition, with every muscle group. So even with each client, if they're in chaos, I can feel if they need to stay in that chaos, and I'm going to tell them, you know what? Enjoy. I'm going to message you in 2 days. Enjoy what you're going through. So I won't just jump in and save them, but I'm able to intuitively feel it. Whereas the other times, sometimes it might be space. Sometimes it might be a hard word when they're looking for some form of like consoling. Sometimes it might actually be support and love. But I've built from repetition the ability to sense what they need and give them that.
Do you ever feel like the advice you're giving is not enough? They need something else, or it's getting off the business, the reason they're here, and it's getting more psychological. What would you do? How do you manage that? Because obviously there's got to be a line between, hey, we're getting into some fucking uncharted territory.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. For me, nothing is uncharted.
Okay, I'd love that. Yeah, tell me more.
Because the driver of the business is the driver of the business. The shit you think you're not, you swept under the rug is not swept under the rug. You're wearing it on your fucking face. To be honest, you're wearing it in every sales call. You're wearing it on stage. You're putting the act on. But what happens if you address that little thing? So it's always addressing the unaddressed things that lead to the biggest external shifts, I find. Like generic, improving, optimizing your sales system and stuff, fucking boring to me. Like anyone can do that for you. And that doesn't mean I don't do it.
And that's changing as well, like especially with email view rates crashing. Like, and I guess the old tools are becoming less and less sharp and a bit more generic.
I'll say this, like every system, like the key to any mastering and implementing any system is, I believe it should be an extension of the driver of the business. Because there's a multitude of sales systems, a multitude of funnels, a multitude of everything, right? So therefore everyone's like, will go to a business coach. And that's why I don't really wear that label or like to wear it, and more mentor, consultant, whatever, is they would look for someone to give me the sales system that I need. Or, so I won't like be like, this is the sales system, guys. This is how you convert clients to customers in 5 clicks. I don't do that shit because it's all bespoke. Like a true sales system almost has to match your thumbprint, match you. And therefore it has to be extracted out of you and then integrated into what you're already doing. And therefore, like, I need to know you and you need to know you. So that's why it does always start with the driver. And that will be then a timeless, like a legacy system that we can build where it doesn't become obsolete with technology, but it almost continues to be amplified because the system is an extension of you.
How do you bring your clients back to the right path? Like,
what's the right path?
Well, what I mean is like, they've come to you for coaching.
Yes.
They've gone away. They haven't implemented what you've said. They've come back and they've sort of half-assed it.
Yes.
They're on the wrong path.
Yes.
Is that when you sack them? Or is that when you go...
I never sack a client because like one thing I always say to every client
really?
is...
Okay.
Nah. Well, actually, I'll rephrase that.
You know what? We need to go over.
Yeah. To be honest, I actually have. But I'll look at it like this. Every client that I work with, if it's a container or a block, it's 1 month, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. I say to them, we're building a lifetime relationship. Like I'm in your corner for life.
Yep.
Unless there's any reason for me to cut the relationship. So I'm big on respect. I'm big on morals, values, boundaries, etc. So as soon as you violate something that is just against code, I will address that. I'll check you on that. I think there's something I've learned from my older G's in street life is if you violate, you get addressed. You get checked. So I check it, and if they still violate and it's more of a character thing, I'll cut the relationship. Not by hate, but just I'll...
I don't know. I'm not saying that. It's just, bandwidth, your time. I'd like to give some advice to people that are watching this because we get a little bit of an audience and, I like to give them something that they can take away. What advice would you give a person that feels like they're failing in life? And then it can be business, personal, but they just constantly feel like they're failing and, they're getting up in the morning and it's just the same shit every day. What advice would you give to someone to sort of, maybe start turning things around?
Yeah, it's got to be, if you're at that point, you're fucking choosing it at this point.
Okay.
And like,
in what way?
You're waking up and playing a default inner dialogue without you realizing it. And there comes a point where you just actually have to get sick of it. And sometimes that point has to be it getting a lot worse, like you being a product of your victimization to a point that you've come to your end. And the end of what? The end of this fucking identity that you've been playing on repeat. Like I had been many of those identities. I used to wake up looking to try get locked up by finding an opposition to take out.
What is an honor badge sort of thing? I got locked up?
Yeah, more like just pain inside of me and no fucking cause. And I want to hit somebody. And if I hit the right guy, I can get some stripes on my rep. So I was like, cool. That's my sole mission when I woke up. And this is for like 4 years. I was like, that was me. So if I can go from waking up from that to waking up to this and everything in between, I just got to a point. where I was fucking tired of it.
Man, that's heavy.
Yeah.
I like it. It's heavy.
And the crazy thing is, even as I say that, I can still feel that guy in me get a little bit of a rush going, yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah.
He never goes. It never goes. So don't believe like it. Some people, they start to make a change and then they see that thought come up again and they're like, oh no, like he's back. And then they fall back into it.
I'll be vulnerable with you.
Please.
When I was going through my liquidation and, almost went for 4 years, I was swimming in Jack Daniels for about 3 of those 4 years. I sometimes miss that guy.
Me too.
Just that guy, he was fun. He was on first name basis with every bar in Fitzroy and Carlton.
Fearless.
Yeah, fearless. I remember the one night the Black Pearl, the cocktail bar, was having a birthday party, and I was walking by in my tracksuit, and I got invited into this VIP party. So everyone, and everyone's suited and fucking, there, and I'm just walking around in this tracksuit, and I sometimes miss that guy, but that guy has a few issues that I really want to involve, but I've involved in the thing. What advice, Chent, who is today, would give your younger version of yourself? And you can choose whatever age. Yeah. So what advice would you want to give your younger self?
I was going to say something that actually answers this question too, is like all emotion is energy and all energy is transmutable. So you can transmute anything. And the irony is that's what I done to get here without me knowing it. And therefore I can even apply that to anything now. So whether it's negative energy can be transmuted into positive, but also positive can be transmuted into other positives. So I had a lot of emotion that was unconsciously directed in areas. And then as I became more conscious of where that emotion was directed, I unconsciously started to transmute it.
Do you feel like you've still got that emotion today, but you now direct it into your coaching business?
1000%.
Presence,
Like I'm a hard case. I'm chill, but I'm a hard case. And like if someone's paid me, I look at that payment as permission to tell them whatever the fuck they need to hear. So I'm not fucking, I don't care if you like me, whatever. But if you've paid me, I'm in your corner to play that role for you.
Okay.
So I will, ironically, that hard case in the street, I've just translated into this world. And therefore, even if I have to jump on stage in Dubai and speak to 100,000 people, I just transfer that same guy. In my mind, it's just like, these guys, they probably have in their own way, but in my mind, it's like, I give zero fucks of being liked on stage. And I know how true I am with myself, and I know the places that I've gone to in myself, that there's nothing that can happen on stage that's going to rock me, or there's no repercussion on the other side that's going to rock me. So therefore I have this unique ability to just fucking deliver whatever the fuck I need to say. And that generally moves the crowd. That generally moves people. That even if I don't like drop some hardcore data and facts, something about my experience coming back to that makes them drawn to me or magnetizes. And that experience, I would say, like the state is true authenticity, in my opinion. Not like this fabricated going, I'm authentic. You got to be authentic, guys.
I think people try to be authentic in the moment, not the authentic person that gets back to fronting. Like, I'm being authentic.
Trying to be authentic.
Yeah, you're trying to be authentic to fit into this fucking narrative. Like, you're not trying to be, I always thought, because 6'5", I have a bit of a presence myself, and I tried to not be myself. I actually tried to dim myself to try to fit in. Because you want to be liked and you want to think. Now I don't give a fuck, but it's like I've had to go through that odyssey of self-discovery to being actually the person I am is okay. And if people don't like it, fuck them. But getting to that point, like being comfortable in front of a camera, like as I said, I look back at my first podcast and I go, oh shit, like. I think you evolve and your coaching business evolves you. And you now know you're very comfortable in the odyssey and the path that you're going on in life. What advice would you give someone that doesn't know what they want to do with themselves? They're lost. They're trying to find something, like they're trying to find something to be passionate about. They hate their job. They hate their relationship. They don't like the relationship with their family. They don't like their weight. They don't like anything about their life at the moment. What advice would you give that person?
It's going to sound fluffy, but it's extremely practical. Is you got everything is a projection.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything is a projection. Everything is a mirror. So you see the world not as it is, but as you are. So everything, the shit you don't like is something in you that doesn't like yourself. There's something where you don't like yourself and you're seeing it in that thing.
Yep.
Sometimes it's not direct. It's not like, I hate cheaters, so because I'm a cheater. It's not directly like that. So it always comes back to introspection. And here's the thing. If you're like, yeah, I've tried that. I've tried the retreat, the meditation. To be honest, you're going to be miserable until, again, it comes back to that point, until you have no choice. And that's where like everyone's life is almost pretty much written for them. Like as much as I can, shout on top of the mountaintops, like go within and find yourself and become, a leader and lead your own movement and serve the world and stack experiences. Everyone's going to go, yeah. But then I know for a fact that majority of people won't until if ever they're brought to a point where they have no other choice. So if I can accelerate that point of no return or point of no choice by pointing them in directions to go there, and sometimes it is go for your dreams, like go try become a billionaire to realize what you really want.
Deep. Deep. But yeah, I think more people need to be honest with themselves on who the fuck they are.
Straight up.
Like, be that. It's okay to be you. Do you. I say this to my friends all the time. It's do you. Like, I find it really fascinating that people think that entrepreneurs have got all the fucking answers. They're living their purpose. They're
probably the most clueless.
Probably the most fucking clueless. I'm an entrepreneur because I start mutinies in companies, like hard mutinies. Or I'm a terrible employee. I will challenge director meetings, like within the meeting. Yeah. It's like, I don't think this is a good idea. What do you fucking mean? But I don't think this is going to work. I'm not. Yeah. How do you? And I think you've already answered this, but I'm going to ask you in a different way. What gets you in the way of knowing your truth? Like, what gets in the way of you? You know you should be going this way, but we're all human beings, right? And we'll get in our own fucking way. So, what gets in the way of you knowing more about your clients or more about yourself?
It would be whatever my most dominant human impulses are in the current season. Like as a 35-year-old, I'm going to have impulses that are different to a 25-year-old.
Correct.
Right. So it's always just that. And that's the irony is like when you're in your mid-20s, sometimes you're encountering those impulses, but like you're first sort of time going for something and businesses and bettering yourself, and these impulses arise. And you don't really know what it is, or you're like trying to fight it. But then in your 30s, you're like, oh, cool, it's that impulse thing again. I can see these impulses. And I'm guessing maybe in your 40s, you see it's, okay, it's my 40s.
Oh, no, I still impulses. Get impulse. Like, it's
till the end.
Discipline. Yeah. And I know when I haven't done what I should have done. I can feel it. Like,
and sometimes the impulses are positive. Like you want something so positive, so bad, but it's your current human really wants it. You know, your 35-year-old self or your 45-year-old self really wants it. Your 25-year-old self wants it.
The one's got to be, it comes back to something that I live by. Your why's got to be big enough.
Well said.
You know, because without a big enough why,
you fall to your want.
You just, because, you know, I think people fail not because their dreams are too big. I think they fail because their dreams are too small and they reach them.
Yeah. Or their why is too small, but their dreams are too big. Because you got to have a dream, but if your why is not fueled, that's what I see. I get a lot of people, obviously I scout people, talk to people. What's your vision? Cool. What happens then? What happens then? What about when you're 50 years old? Wow. Amazing. All right. And then why do they not do anything about it? Ultimately is the why is not strong enough internally.
I think it comes down to self-worth. Like I'm not deserving of that why.
True.
I'm not deserving of that. I struggle to spend money on myself in certain areas of my life. Always had no problem with clothes, that sort of stuff, but cars, stuff around the house. I've always struggled that I didn't need that. I don't, you know, and it's not until probably the last 3 or 4 years that I've actually started to feel more comfortable being the person I am in my 40s and starting to strive for those bigger whys. And I've been working for I've been entrepreneur probably all my life, but I've been independent from a job for about 15 years now. So I started, actually funny story. I started my first business when I was 27. And then my wife at the time divorced me from in the UK, so I came back.
How long were you guys?
Together 10 years.
Wow.
Only married 18 months, but together our whole 20s.
That's substantial.
Very substantial.
Yeah.
And then I started again July 2013. And basically since then, I am today. I have another question for you, and it's a question that I wanted to ask, but I think it's the perfect time. What point does silence and meditation play in a successful business owner, one of your senior managers?
Extreme. Is the amount of pressure on your shoulders the higher you climb, not just in the business world, but as life progresses, just stacks and compounds.
Yeah.
And I find silence, stillness, meditation is just your ability to reduce the load of the weight on your shoulders ultimately, and remain poised in chaotic scenarios. And the more rapid growth, the more chaotic, the more the higher the valuation and the in and outflow of money and customers, the more chaotic. As life happens, more chaotic. You're going to get health scares, divorce, everything, challenges, death of friends, death of parents. How do you remain poised? Silence and meditation.
I love that. Do you think you find your purpose or your purpose finds you?
Oh, I like that. I've never been asked that. I feel like you set out to find your purpose, and on the quest to find your purpose, it finds you.
What can you do to help that? Like, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, your purpose finds you, you find it. But what can you do to help it?
You got to go all in. Like, actually, it can't be any like what is I forgot that quote. Something about like safe ships never leave the harbor or some shit.
Correct.
But it's almost like if you're on one end
ships are not designed to stay in the harbor.
That's it.
Rough seas, yeah.
So it's almost like you're at the side of the pool and you can't swim, if this was a metaphor. And the only way to learn how to swim is to let go of the side and just fucking go into the deep end. You got, like, everyone's unconsciously holding on to some shit.
Yeah.
Some form of safety. And it's scary because it's going to be your security. Sometimes it might be your fucking savings account, your retirement fund. Like, a lot of it's tied to money or reputation. So a lot of the things that tie us to those things, fuck, if you can put that on the line. One thing about humans that I love is we're fucking masters of survival and adaptation.
I'll tell you an interesting story that I found over the years. The second I've been comfortable with the balance of my bank account, I've lost that balance within a year. Within a year. Okay, I'm good. I can chill.
Yes.
Gone in a year.
Always.
Like that. And it's like, what the fuck? Like every fucking time. Every time.
Likewise.
There you go. Cool, I can chill. Where'd the money go? It's gone. Like, it's
and that's a constant. Yeah. Every single person I've worked with, constant.
I truly believe, and this is something that it's just my personal belief, people can argue with it. I think that you should just focus on your art, your work, especially as an entrepreneur. And I'm not talking about always coming up with a new R&D. Yeah, it's very important to have R&D. I have R&D in my own company, right? And I've made the mistake of spending eye-watering amounts of money on R&D and it go nowhere. Where I think you need to be always asking people for their advice. And you know, I talk about this a lot, circle of influence. People need a circle of influence. And it's not coaches, yes, but they need good people to run ideas by. And if you focus on your craft, you focus on that, the money is a side project. It's if the money's the focus, you'll always be chasing it. You'll never be satisfied. It's just this fucking hamster wheel, treadmill. You become a fucking not a very nice human to be around. You're hustling all the fucking time. Yeah. I became more happier and successful when I worked out what balance to me means. Sometimes I'll work 15 hours a day, get a project done, because I'll say to one of the the recruiters at TRS, we're developing a new real estate and property development desk. Okay, I'll work this weekend to develop the desk and I'll hand the desk back to you Monday morning, and I'll do that every time because that's what I said I will do, but I expect for you now in return to work on that.
Yeah.
And then I'll take a set. And once I worked out that balance, I was a lot happier and I slept a lot better. Do you see a direct link between fitness and successful business ownership?
Yes and no. Yes, because what you develop in the gym is transferable, but also no, because sometimes you can get so lost in the gym identity that you don't transfer any of it. So it's almost like a conscious thing that can happen. It's just like, for example, there's a lot of bodybuilders that are broke.
Yeah, fucking
fitness influencers, even.
I know a few influencers and it shocks me how little money they make. and how obsessed they are with their followers.
Yeah, they've got so much reach, but they just don't know how to transfer it over. And especially when it comes to the fitness world, it's transferable.
Funny enough, James and I were talking about this the other day, and it's now more about impressions than anything.
100%, not followers.
Followers. I mean, I can even see the whole YouTube subscription model changing, because who subscribes now on it's more about, I'll watch a few, if I like it, I'll subscribe. Can someone build a great business if they haven't worked on themselves personally?
I believe yes. I believe that personal work amplifies, but it's not like you have to work on yourself.
What comes first, the business or the person?
Both. I would be biased and say the person.
Good.
But I always love to play devil's advocate with myself. So I believe the business can come first, because I've seen it. I've seen people already have natural traits, but arguably those traits was from life developing the person without them going into self-development.
I started my first business in London when I was 27. Time flies and having fun. And that was with one of my best friends and mentors, and I used to work for his business. And unfortunately,
what year was it when you were 27?
2007.
Cool, so 17. Anyways.
Yeah, fuck, man, I'm old. I've been face moisturizing since I was 24. Don't let this face, because it goes, I'm old. Because you're not that old. Trust me, I'm old. And I started that business. I had no money, recently married, live in the UK. Financial crisis hit 2008. Didn't work out there. Came back 2009, back to Perth, broke. And then I went back as an employee for about 3 or 4 years, and then I started again in 2013. But I believe that I couldn't have worked on myself without my business, and without my business throwing shit at me, or businesses, and then realizing that rinse and repeat doesn't work. I mean, it works, what fucking shits me, right, is I'll meet an entrepreneur and they have 7 businesses, 8 businesses. And they're all listed out on LinkedIn. And I'm like, which one of these make revenue? Oh, that's just it's like, what fuck do you do, man? Like, none of the businesses work with each other. Yeah. You've got drop shipping, you've got crypto here, you've got that. And I'm like, and they're also trying to be a coach. And I'm like, what the fuck? I think you're personally, I think you're one of the best business coaches in Australia.
I appreciate it.
Well, and I really say that, not just because you're on the podcast today. Your presence, the people that you know. I know some of your clients. These are very, these are big, heavy-hitting people, and they come to you for guidance, and I believe they come to you for structure. How do you take your business to the next level? Because this isn't just all about us asking questions, because clearly you're evolving yourself. You're saying, you're like, how are you going to go from here to there?
Yeah. One thing I'll say to start this is, I've always said entrepreneurship is the greatest self-development program itself. Yeah. That's why I've never pushed a program. I've always pushed people to start, scale, do things in their own business. So even coming back to me, my next level is going to be through pushing myself in business and continually sort of keeping myself on my toes. So bringing forward like the next, I guess, stage of presence to market is going to challenge me, because we've got a very bold roadmap. And not just that, there's always things that I'm looking at but also trying to not be that guy with the list of fucking 7 startups or 7 companies. So I'm looking at China in September with one of my business partners with presence to look at some sort of robotics startup.
Love it.
Replace a lot of front of house staff in some of his companies, gas stations, etc. And if we can validate that model, that's like something I'd love to lead into. So exploring and bringing that to life is going to take me as a person to another level, because it's a little bit out of depth, and even just the next stage of presence and implementing and executing that is going to bring out another level of me. Because the things that I haven't done, therefore it's going to demand a greater level of me.
What role is AI going to, I mean, ask this everyone, what role is AI going to play in your business? Are you going to have an AI avatar doing a training program?
Mate, I could go, this could be another episode, but if I just flow with it, there is, okay, I'm going to leverage, I'm late on this, but I think
I don't think you are.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people are even later, right? They're oblivious. I'm going to use HeyGen to create just a model of Chent, and I'm going to use 11 Labs to be the voice of Chent. I believe everyone should have some model of themselves trained and ready right now, just for whatever comes out.
We were just saying this the other day,
right? And because as these things come out, they communicate with each other. So if I have a HeyGen and an 11, if I have Chent.ai, that's what I just want to create as just a base model, a trainable model that can then interact with other APIs of other things that come out. And then it'll be scalable. So I know that Chent.ai can give generalized Chent style information, but it can't really be me. So I'm going to do the heavy hitting stuff, and then I'm going to start leveraging and exploring where he can play support.
Well, it's more like he could be your funnel. So you've got people that want to come to the next level. James and I talk about this all the time. It's always easier for James to do a podcast with someone who's done filming work before. It's probably someone for you easier to coach if they've done some basic coaching work before, because they're ready to receive, and you don't need to, you don't have to do all this work on them receiving, because I could just imagine your preliminary conversations and they're just okay, especially in the mid-30s.
Yeah. And there's different ways to ride it. Like 2022, we rode the metaverse wave. 2021 was another bull run, which is one now, pretty much starting. And with riding the wave, like what I saw, there was in 2021, you could raise 50 million from a slide deck and a Figma file.
Fuck, I missed that boat. Fuck,
me too. And we were trying to be the company that wanted to last, but we didn't understand the game was actually just to fucking raise the capital and ride the bubble. So now there's this like novel
we
factor.
don't fucking learn, do we? This what happened in 2000.
And people are going to miss it with AI right now. Like AI, like 90% of shit that is coming up is not going to last, and then it will just sort of like systemize as these are the standard AI things. But there's like a novel thing happening right now. So if we can ride the novel wave and have Chent.ai as like a funnel, assistant, whatever, and I can lead the novel trend of it, you can actually get a lot of attention.
Where do you think we're going where this tech's going? Where's your view on it? Your personal view?
I've always felt there's this point, it's called the convergence, where all tech meets, because AI is going to interact with blockchain, which is going to interact with robotics, which is going to interact with quantum computing, haptic, everything connects. And when it gets to that point, you can call that singularity as well, is if you can just have some form of foresight and start to question, where do you fit into that picture? What is it that you do fits into that picture? You can start building towards it. And that quote, success is when opportunity meets preparation. So I feel like we have, yes, AI is going to be fucking crazy in 1 to 2 years, but I feel like there's almost like a 5-year runway where if you start building towards 5 years now and really embracing it, being a student of it, exploring it, you'll stay ahead of the curve enough where you're not paying somebody else to guide you or to do it for you. Like you don't have to be a master. You have to just understand the basics enough to master implementation.
Do you think people will want their coaching done more, not in person, as in AI, over the computer?
No, and I'll tell you why. Like,
why?
The thing you said to me a bit earlier in this is like, I noticed this early, and a lot of coaches don't because they sort of get drunk off this, is a lot of people will sign up with me just to say they get coached by me. And I noticed like they show up to coaching calls, just like, it's like a fucking concert or some shit, and they're just there to be there, but they're not there for the reason they're there. So it's actually they're there for me, my human essence, my aura, my energy, the clout factor, etc. But in knowing that I address that, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about you or blah, blah right now. Like we're here for your reason. So I can address that and shift that rather than like, now go tell all your friends. So AI is not going to give them that. but therefore, like, there are certain functions, there's a certain style of delivery of information you're going to get through Chent.
When did you know you were going to be a coach?
Honestly, when I started personal training, because I didn't I left civil engineering, a contract there.
Why? You want to be a civil engineer, going to make some money, going to be engineer, tick, tick, tick. Yep. Got the resume, got the business card. Yeah. I got
my dreams got let down. So I was, before an engineer, I was, let's just say, hustling. Mm-hmm. And in my hustling days, I realized early that however hard you work is you reciprocate it with money. So then when I went into engineering, and I saw that from the street life, I saw obviously people moving big amounts of money, and I was like, shit, you can make that much in a day. I want to become a hustler, which is technically an entrepreneur. So when I went into engineering, they promised me all of these things. Cool, you're going to get this role within 6 months.
They gave you the PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, fuck, you're going to lead this division and you're going to do this and that. And then it's like, fuck, I remember the first...
Come one, come all. Yeah.
The first day, they gave me my week's tasks and I done it in a day. And then I went to the boss going, hey boss, I've done all of this. What else? He goes, okay, cool, awesome. Get started on this. I done that the second day. What else? And then they started to run out of things to do for me. So then they started sending me out on site to do like soil stability tests, which is just like, in translation, get covered in mud to test the soil. And then I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? So now I'm like 3 months, 4 months into it. The whole head of department of like this structural design, whatever, none of it took fruition. And I'm just going on site with the other boys on site.
Yeah.
And then it was this one day, fucking stormy. We had to go into like a swamp to do the soil test. It was like on a Friday. We couldn't finish it. And then I knew that I was waking up on Monday to go back to that. So that Sunday, I was like, fuck this. What the fuck? I'm going to do something else. And that's where I thought, fuck it. I'm going to do personal training.
Okay.
And then that led to coaching.
I love that. Like, but you're so clear in your purpose, right? And I can see people watching this going, I want to be more like you.
Yeah.
But there's only one of you. There's one of me. There's only one of them, right? How do you tell? Because I meet a lot of people that go, oh my God, just, you do this, you're inspirational, you're this and that. I'm just me.
Yeah.
How do you tell people to be more like themselves?
Yeah, it's funny. You're a main character in your movie, but most people, I'd say 90%, live as an extra. And that little sense of belonging or like meaning or spotlights not on you is because you haven't just fucking embraced it. Like if main character shit says quit the job and start baking cakes, fuck it, do it. Do you have the balls to do it? Like, if not, then you're never going to figure out who the fuck you are. That's all I done, because I took like a 75% pay cut from engineering to it made no sense.
No.
My dad, because I wasn't even a personal trainer. I went into weekend gym instructor, the guy who cleans machines and puts weights.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get in the industry.
Yeah, okay.
So I just took that. And then I was so happy to just be in that environment and happy to be playing my main character story now, that I rose to the top fucking fast.
People go, I want to do that, but they're not going to take the jump because of mortgages. Life gets
Good luck. Good luck with life.
What do you say to someone that wants to listen to you but doesn't actually want to act on anything you say to them? Like, they're just there to be in your presence.
Yeah, well, you're going to be miserable, hopefully not until the end. That's all I'll say.
I think a person will change with enough pain.
That's it. And that's why I don't say it in a
No. I don't think anyone would take that.
Yeah. But it's good that people hear that. It's like, I say it because I want the misery for them. Like, be more miserable then. Like, it took me a fuck ton of misery to change.
Last question for you, sir. What's the one thing you want people to take away from today's chat? Which I thoroughly enjoyed.
I would say, if you've listened to this, you're going to unconsciously listen to this like everything else you've listened to. So that being said, listen to this again and actually challenge, don't just listen to it, fucking receive it, implement it, stop it, ask yourself, fuck, what does that actually mean in my life? Like actually digest this rather than like see through the unconscious feeding the drug of another hit of that podcast, another self-development thing. Then this might actually change your life.
Fucking love it, sir. Chent, it's been fucking
Pleasure
today. Thank you very much. We should need to do this again.
100%.